Hey out there. Tommy? Tommy, can you hear me?
I didn't know that was coming. Very nice.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, I am good, right? Aren't we all good?
Oh, man, I am ape shit is how I am.
Apes shit. How do you spell shit with a Z-H? Zit. Apes shit. That's
you
what you are.
Okay. I'm great, man. I'm great.
We are here live at Rayce's Oasis, outdoors, man, just sunshine, a breeze, cool drinks. It's cool.
And we are Mixed Apes.
We are Mixed Apes.
And we are producers of podcasts and purveyors of curated playlists.
Curated playlists.
Of
Yes.
fine. Purveyors of fine curated
Fine
playlists.
quality.
Yes.
Finest quality curated playlists. What my friend Rayce of Apes over there is hurriedly referring to. By the way, this is You Should Know This Song.
We've already covered that we're Mixed
Did
Apes.
we? Yeah, but we didn't say you should know this song.
Did you know that?
At www.youshouldknowthissong.com.
Yes.
Anyway, what he's referring to is the exciting news, and relatively new still, that the suggestion from several episodes ago from Rayce's daughter, Amity,
Yes.
that we should have playlists for everybody to go listen to.
And the result of that is Apes Got Playlists.
Apes Got Lists, baby. All the playlists for all the episodes are caught up. They are all posted on
YouTube.
YouTube.
At youtube.com/@mixedapes with a Z.
Right.
And also on our website, youshouldknowthissong.com.
Right. So you can go and listen to the stuff that you want to stop the episode in the middle of it and go listen to.
You can finish the episode.
After the episode.
And then go listen to every song on the playlist or skip through them if you like.
Right. But you can at least have confidence that you can listen through the episode and those songs. You don't have to worry if you remembered the song right or you're losing track of something, you didn't take a note. You just go listen to the playlist and the song that you want to hear is going to be in there.
If we reference a song directly during the podcast,
Yes.
even if it's not a challenge,
Right.
it ends up in the playlist for that episode. So it's cool stuff, man. I am so geeked about the playlists. I really am. Since we talked last and we first discussed it, I've been listening to them. They're great.
Yeah.
They're great.
I'm excited about
I'm
it,
loving
and I think it's just a cool addition to the show, and it's an idea that we should have had a long time ago. And again, super props to Amity of Apes for submitting the suggestion in the first place, and then partaking in getting it accomplished.
Yep.
No small feat.
She participated in curating
fine
quality playlists.
The finest quality playlist. And I really think there is something, it's corny to say and we're being goofy, whatever, but I think they're cool because, as we mentioned, the show is us kind of all over the board with what, type, style, era, music, whatever. And so the playlists are that kind of thing too. They're just whatever we've decided to bring up, which isn't, one song isn't necessarily connected to the next song on the playlist. It's just...
Which is kind of what makes them cool to listen to.
Honestly,
as I've been listening to them, it's like, oh, I forgot we talked about that. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, I remember why we talked about that.
I'm glad I get to hear that song right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is that in doing some of the research for the show, in a lot of cases, I don't get to listen to the song.
Well, that's absolutely
I've heard
good
something
point.
Or something's popped into my head or I was flipping to the station and caught the end of something, whatever, and that's where all that information comes from. And now I get to actually go back and this is why we do this in the first place.
Absolutely a good point, because that happens to me all the time. I know I need to research the song. The song popped into my head. I wrote it. I trapped it, right? And I got to go find all the details and information and see if there's an interesting story.
But you didn't actually listen to the song while you were doing all that.
Yeah,
and I'm one of those, I can't be listening to music while I'm doing that kind of stuff. My brain doesn't work that way.
Well, my problem is my brain works fine, except that I'll be off onto a 10th song related to that song, and I won't get the quote work unquote done for the show.
Oh, and it's such tough work.
So
it's so hard being an ape.
The scene here, we have talked about it before, but we're going to keep on talking about it because it's a little noisy. There's a little atmosphere going on here. I'm calling it atmosphere.
Sure, we're outside in my wife's designed lovely backyard, both of them. she pretty much laid everything out, and it's a really nice space for those of you that have never seen it.
Yeah.
You wish you were here. Maybe we'll post a picture sometime.
There's, there's wind chimes clinking around. There's birds in the trees. We got a nice breeze going.
The neighbor 4 or 5 yards down might be mowing his lawn.
Yeah.
You never know. But it's all
cars
real.
going by.
Yeah.
Airplane overhead. But mostly you just hear the sound of the breeze and a few birds and that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
If it gets really loud, we're trying to avoid really loud stuff. If the police helicopter finally drops in to pick up Rayce after the years of trying to find him.
Thank you, and thank you for putting that out there. For
We'll probably pause and get that noise out of there. But otherwise, we're in for all the background noise of the natural environment around us. So, what do we got today? Rayce?
Well, we wanted to do a little bit of nest keeping.
We got some,
where we clear up some questions or corrections from previous episodes. Yeah. So I got one here. We were talking about Uriah Heep in some depth a while back. A couple episodes back. And two things. One is I wasn't sure how many albums Uriah Heep had put out. And you have since researched and come up with the number 25.
I did,
which is a boatload of content.
I did not have any expectation.
I would have said 11, maybe.
Right.
You know what I mean? That would have been the number that I would have guessed.
Yeah, that's where I would have had it.
Yeah, which means that I just haven't followed that stuff for the last.
And in part because they have, as with a lot of, longer term, sort of bigger bands like that, they have broken up and gotten back together and broken up, and I don't have track in my mind of all those breakups, how long they were and whatever. Yeah. But to me, it did seem like the stops and starts I was aware of would not have allowed for 25 albums, even over the span of their career. So
since the late
pretty
60s,
impressive, right?
Yeah. So somebody calling themselves Uriah Heep is still out there putting out albums, regardless of what the various iterations and members may be doing.
Right. Very cool.
But the thing that prompted that was, we had a little bit of a discussion. I won't say it was an argument.
No, we had a...
But
it was a point-counterpoint.
There you go. Jane, you ignorant slut. By the way, that was just so you know, that was a reference to Saturday Night Live from 1970.
We should have asked people.
76. Yeah. No, I didn't want to leave ignorant slut hanging out there unidentified.
Who were the participants in that very famous SNL conversation crowd out there?
If you know, comment.
Yes.
Send us a note. Hit your comment button on your podcast platform, or go to the website and drop a comment in.
Absolutely.
That was good stuff.
Yes, beloved time. I am still an avid SNL fan.
I am,
much to my wife's dismay, I have to say. But
I've only watched them intermittently over the last 15 years.
Yeah, I think I've watched 50 years of it straight.
Yeah, I know that there's more of that. It's more than that. 1975 is when they came out, right?
Anyway, on to what we were talking about. Uriah Heep.
I'm sorry, I got lost there.
That's what we do.
Anyway, we were doing this a lyric from Stealin', and
the Uriah Heep song "Stealin',"
and I quoted it as, "I done the rancher's daughter, and I sure done hurt his pride," and I made a point of the second done hurt his pride. Oh, that's the lyric. Again, Rayce being an idiot. And thinking that he knows what he doesn't know.
Reed's never an idiot, by the way. That never happens.
Okay, we're going to edit that out because it's just a bald-faced lie. But it's, I done the rancher's daughter, and I sure did hurt his pride.
Right.
And I think, if I remember correctly, that was what you were saying at the time.
Right. That was the turn, the pivot of the conversation. The point counterpoint was, I said in answering the lyric content to the song, sure did hurt his pride, and you said, I think it's, I sure done hurt his pride. And
anyway,
I gave you one of those looks. I gave you one of those looks.
Yes.
You know it.
Yeah. Will you just shut up, Rayce? You don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Look. I remember that.
Moron.
I think that's look number 7, if I'm not mistaken.
You want to bet on that? I'm going to. Okay. Well, I got one here. The song "Love and Rockets" from "Love and Rockets," "No New Tale to Tell," was a challenge that I threw at Race of Apes.
That I believe I missed.
Maybe you did. I don't recall, but you may be right. Anyway, it's immaterial. The quote in the song that I think I used as the lyric clue: "You cannot go against nature, because if you do go against nature, it's part of nature too." I was of the impression, for whatever reason, for years, that quote was based off of a quote from someone else.
It was relevant to something they were
correct. They were quoting somebody else's quote.
Right.
And I did a lot of research and found that there's no information to that effect. That quote is their songwriting. They own it. And I think it's great, but I wanted to correct my suggesting that they, took it off of someone else's information.
But they were influenced by someone else.
And again, also voice my appreciation for how cool I think that quote is.
Oh, there you go.
It's a thinker, in my opinion.
Okay, this next piece is not nest keeping. It's just something I want to share. So we're going to call nest keeping over. Is that cool?
Yeah, this is just stuff.
All right, so I heard a song by a band called The Tokens.
Yeah, not like toking, not like a joint.
The Tokens, like the little coins, the little fake
like
coins.
A coin.
Yes. And the song was pretty good.
How old was the song?
I'm going to say...
That band name sounds like it's
I'm going to
from
say
the
late 50s.
I was
going
to say 60s.
Okay. Yeah. So they are, by the way, the band that did the original version of... Not the original version. The original version of The Lion Sleeps Tonight, which is actually borrows heavily from a song from a South African singer named Solomon Linda that was called Mbube. And that part of the song where it goes, Wimba wap, Wimba wap. Well, originally that was Mbube and Mbube, Mbube. That was what they were saying there.
I see.
Okay. But the song, the American hit that was based on that Mbube song was called The Lion Sleep Tonight. It's been done several times. But the first people to do it were the Tokens.
Did they actually write the Lion Sleeps Tonight song? Do you know that?
No. Yeah, no. In answer to your question, did they write that song? No. It's called an adaptation because it's not exactly the same lyrics.
Right.
But the song is credited to the Solomon Linda. She's a South African woman. Okay. First recorded in 1939. But it was done by a bunch of different bands. There was a version, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, as I mentioned, by the Tokens. Came out in 1961. But the Tokens, one of the founding members of the Tokens, Neil Sedaka.
That tracks.
And he left the band before they hit it. And they hit it. They actually became producers of other songs, doo-wop and other songs of the era.
Yeah.
Okay? But they were originally known as the Link Tones because they all came from Abraham Lincoln High School in Brooklyn.
Oh. Why is that amusing to me? I have no idea.
Original members, Neil Sedaka, Hank Medris, Eddie Rabkin, and Cynthia Zolotin. The single that brought them to my mind was something called Tonight I Fell in Love.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And it's got Tonight I Fell in Love. And it's got a kind of dom doobie doo, very Neil Sedaka-ish beginning.
Sure.
But it's really a cool tune. The Tonight I Fell in Love song.
Sure, yeah.
We're not referencing The Lion Sleeps Tonight, although it'll be in the playlist because we talked about it.
Yes.
Anyway, it's just something that kind of, it made me start looking at the Tokens, and they really went on they formed in the 50s. They had their first real hit in the 60s, or their biggest hit in the 60s. And they went on for the next 15, 20 years. Members of the band moving out, in and out, coming back, so forth and so on, different iterations of the band.
Sure.
But, they reunited in 2000 for a doo-wop special that was done by PBS.
Oh, cool.
So, again, long-lasted. I didn't know who they were. I certainly know the Lion Sleeps Tonight song.
Yeah.
But, I didn't realize it was that they were kind of the ones to break it loose in the States.
Right.
And B, that, again, Neil Sedaka being a founding member, whether you're a Neil Sedaka fan or not, impact on rock and roll, pretty major.
Pretty major, right.
Yeah, over the course of years, a lot of songwriting, a lot of producing. Had his own stuff that
his own highly successful.
I believe worked with Carole King for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I'll have to correct that in a future episode, maybe. But I'm almost certain that's correct.
Right.
Anyway, it was just cool shit. Very cool shit that I came across. It's definitely doo-wop, but it's also just the vocals are great. It's very well produced.
It is interesting to think about a band that put that song, I know the song "Lion Sleeps Tonight."
Sure.
But I did not know. I was not aware that the Tokens were the first band to sort of,
break it loose.
Right, get that out there.
Adapt it here in the States.
Get that out there in the United States, and it seems like the story of how that came to be has to have an interesting thread.
Yeah,
But-
and I didn't really pursue that. I was focused on the Tonight I Fell in
Right.
Love song. I did learn a little bit about the Umba
Right.
Bay.
But
song.
what I was sort of getting to in my own roundabout way is to know that, additionally that band has some other songs worth going to check out.
Oh yeah,
You know,
and they were a viable band for 10 years
Right,
easily, and
right.
then the production credits come out later, and if I went through and I read their thing. And by the way, The Lion Sleeps Tonight. The case was dismissed on the original people not getting credit for The Lion Sleeps Tonight.
I see.
Because it's the United States court, and they found a reason to screw the people that weren't here.
Right. Okay.
But where I was going was, I read the Wikipedia article, and there's a lot of fingers. Like, this is one of those that you could go off and go like, oh, let's check that out.
Right.
I didn't realize that the guy from Jay and the Americans was an eventual member of.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? All kinds of
love
stuff like
whole
that.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So I could have got lost for 3 or 4 hours, and I had other work to do.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Worth going to check out the Tokens and listen to some of their other stuff. But
And
what's the particular song again?
Was Tonight I Fell in Love.
Tonight I Fell in Love.
And I would send you personally to the Wikipedia page, but I would never see you again.
Right.
You would fall off the end of the earth.
It's a way deep down.
Yep, absolutely. So I just kind of wanted to
Someday-
share that with y'all, and I don't want to keep us from doing our stuff, our segments.
Very
and
cool.
stuff.
Very cool. I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
We talked about you being on vacation recently, having a week's vacation.
I was over the week of the 4th. Yes.
Yeah, from your real life, when you are an ape disguised as a human being
Yes.
and traveling among human beings without notice.
Which is really
It's
very
difficult
hard for
to
me
do.
to believe. Yeah.
Difficult to do. So one of the things that you were talking to me about off air, quote unquote, is that you had decided to select a theme band, a theme artist for your vacation time, and that selection was the band Cake.
And this is something that, again, we discussed it without recording.
Right.
We've done in the past, kind of accidentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My Eliminator was one summer's album. Like, everything kind of spun off of that. ZZ Top.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
1 year, the Daft Punk Random Access Memories that
Album
my
was-
kids had turned me on to became kind of the theme of the summer, So
Right.
just before my vacation, I was rolling down the road, Cake song came on. I'm like, oh, Cake, I love Cake. I always forget that I love Cake. Maybe I should make this a theme for this vacation.
And you stopped and got a gallon of milk to go with it. Sorry, you can't not make a stupid cake joke when cake comes up.
Yes,
Anyway,
yes.
I can't.
So
Go ahead.
anyway, I let you know that I was doing that.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it at all. I completely forgot that was going to be the case. And when I remembered, I usually had my hands full of something else.
Right.
And then somewhere along the middle of my vacation, you started sending me cake songs.
Right, I tossed you a few cake
Yes.
song links.
So I did, in those instances, put that in and go, oh, hey, Cake Vacation, blah, blah, blah. And 2 songs later, completely forgot what I was doing and moved on. So I had this brilliant idea, and it was a good idea.
I really
because,
loved it when
yeah,
you brought it up. Like,
there's a lot of great music that I forget to listen to.
Right.
And that was kind of my thing is, man, I love everything I know by them. I love it. I know there's a lot I don't know.
Yeah.
So let's dig in, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that the other thing is that I always have to remember the taste of those around me is involved
Sure,
when I'm listening
yes.
to music, because
Right.
generally when I'm listening to music, I'm in some kind of a group, even if it's just me and my wife.
Right.
And
right.
while she might like cake, and she does, the band and the food.
Right.
More specifically,
She
the band.
may not like all cake.
Or she may not
flavors
like
or-
an entire album of it at a time or
Right.
more.
She doesn't want to eat a whole cake. She just wants a couple
Stop,
slices
stop.
of cake.
But yes, so in answer to your question, thank you for your assistance in helping me to stay the course, but I pretty much blew it.
Yeah.
And it's a gone opportunity because vacation's over.
Well, I am going to take the idea, because certainly, the idea of usually what you hear is that artist or band that was the theme music for a summer or a period or whatever ended up being kind of an afterthought. You know what I mean? Like you said, your kids turned you on to the Daft Punk album. Everybody liked it,
and it was
so
just
much.
Getting played a lot.
Right. It was getting, and everybody liked it, so it got a lot of rotation for a period of time. But approaching it from hey, I've got an event or a vacation period coming up, and one of the things I want to try to do is pick the musical artist that I'm going to try to revisit repeatedly during that period. I think
theme,
that's cool.
Whatever, just
right, a theme, right, a musical theme, absolutely, a time period.
There you go.
Any of those parameters, right?
Right.
Pick your own parameter. I just think it's a cool, fun idea.
I don't pick parameters; they fall off the trees on their own.
Props to that one. Apes puns. Let's just do a show of
Let's not.
stupid apes
Yeah,
puns.
we'd like to actually have listeners.
So I just wanted to touch on that, kind of find out how it went. I had high hopes because I am a cake semi super fan. Like, I adore cake, and I don't know all of the cake songs,
Right.
and I know that. You know what I mean? They're one of so many artists who I feel like I'm a huge advocate for, and I like to pound my chest about loving, but then I think about it and I'm like, they have 150 songs.
Yeah, I know 17
60,
of them.
Right. Yeah.
And here's an opportunity. If you're out there in the world and you have you want to throw some cake at us?
Yeah.
Some suggestions of maybe something that we might have missed, maybe not something off the top of the icing, maybe something that's a little deeper down in the cake.
Cut.
A deeper cut. Very nice. You know what we're saying.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got something that you say, hey, moron, listen to this, man. Let's remember this. Here's something that you need to know.
Which reminds me of... go ahead.
We would love to have that input.
Right. We would absolutely love to have that input. And this whole thing wraps around and reminds me just this moment of taking a road trip when I was a kid and whatever, and the Cars had just recently sort of hit the scene. And me and a buddy of mine were driving 4-ish hours one way. And he had just gotten the Cars' second album, I think.
Okay.
He already had the Cars. And he was like, this is the music that you listen to on a drive, when you're driving.
And
like,
you've made reference to that before.
Right. And so it was sort of decided, in the spirit of what I just referenced, like thinking of it beforehand, it was decided that we were going to listen to a lot of Cars in the car. And we did, and it was great. And it impressed me that it sounded great on the road. It was really weird.
It is
that
driving music.
Extra good on the road. And a few years later, I saw quotes by Ocasek and Ben Orr and what have you in interviews where they said that they were trying to intentionally make music that was good for driving.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
So,
and they pulled it off.
And they did. I mean, I really love listening to the Cars in the car. So anyway, that was a cool example of how it worked out. You know, pick an artist, pick a theme, whatever, for your road trip, for your vacation, for your, rebuilding the hot water heater or
there
whatever.
You go, the deck, whatever you're doing.
The deck, yeah. Anyway, enough of that, and on to more fascinating.
Finally curated.
Finally curated.
Finally, they've been curated. Yes.
Entertainment and material. Well, and curated. This next part of the show is kind of curated music, right? I mean, we're going to talk about your buddies in the band Hello Newman.
Yes.
And their song lists. And we're going to...
If you may remember, we went to an event a few weeks ago, and Hello Newman was kind enough to lend us part of the table. They were playing at the show.
Yes.
Flomo Rock Show. In Florissant, Missouri. And they were kind enough to lend us a table to kind of put our T-shirts out there and our stickers, more to make people aware of us than anything else.
Right.
And he shouted out to us during the show, and we appreciate that. But soon afterwards, he started really listening to the podcast because I gave him a shirt at the show. And
whatever it takes.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, and so he started listening to it. Specifically, he said while he was mowing the lawn or doing projects around the house, he was listening to the podcast. And he said, by the way, you've been coming to see my band now, Hello Newman. You've been coming to see my band Hello Newman now for years, for 10 years. And You, meaning me, Rayce, not you, Reed, apparently don't know shit about the music we play because those are the clues that you always fail at. I'm mowing the lawn with my headphones in, pushing along, and all of a sudden I'm shouting, "You idiot! That's Chili Peppers! Why didn't you know that?" Out into the sky, and people are freaking out because he's yelling with his headphones on.
Get away from the man with the lawnmower.
So essentially, we issued a challenge to him, like, "Hey." Right. Send Reed and send me, each independently, your playlist.
Right.
And we'll use them as challenges. We'll discuss them in the show for the purpose of making me a better listener to, a better savant in 90s music. 90s because that's pretty much where they're at, right?
They are in the pocket.
Yes. So he sent me the list, and I guess he sent you the list too because you have it.
I've got half of it, right.
Yeah, and so I think we decided that we're going to use them as challenges here and there throughout the show.
Right.
But because there's so many cool songs on this list, we're just going to kind of share that part of that list with you.
Right. Right.
And
just kind of say the song name, the artist. And if there's something we feel like talking about,
right. And
fine,
the good news is that whatever we talk about will end up in the playlist, you'll be able to enjoy it after the episode.
So, prepare yourself because this playlist is going to have a few
cool shit
songs on it. It's gonna have some songs on it, and it's sort of worth noting to me. It was pretty remarkable. These guys, the Hello Newman guys, did a really again, remarkable is the only word I can come up with it. Job of picking songs pretty much between 90 and 95, like
at least the ones that you looked at on your playlist.
The portion of the playlist I have, I mean, it's tight right in there in those 5 years. So
yeah, they specialize in 90s stuff. That's where Matt comes from. That's where he grew up musically, if you will, kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Right. So I guess kudos or something on so effectively
curating their own playlist, their own set list.
Right. Good application of the word curating. Okay, so like we said, what we were thinking is just to initially name off a few of the songs, and if there's something to stop and talk about, fine.
Sure.
And then throw some challenges in there, random challenges, and just give some props to their set list and to Hello Newman, and help Rayce polish up his 90s.
Yeah, that's going to be it's going to take more than a couple of episodes, but because I'm really, really weak there.
It's fun anyway.
It makes you feel good because I failed.
The thing is, it doesn't make me feel good. It objectively is good. So the thing that occurs to me though is that when I look through the list, I know of these songs. You'll be familiar with them. Maybe you don't know them lyrically.
I don't know them lyrically.
Really
yeah. Right, they kind of were mostly, to me, at least the ones I've seen. There's most of the songs that he's got on the list that I've got. I know the song.
Right.
But they're just like, I'm just jamming along. I'm not listening to the lyrics.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not really into the lyrics. Right. So I'll start off here.
Okay.
And it's kind of an interesting one.
Sure.
I've got the song "Tomorrow" by the band Silverchair.
Okay.
And the reason that it's interesting, and I'm just going to get the formalities out of the way, released in 1995 on the album Frog Stomp. Cool name for an album.
For an album or a band.
Yeah. Written by Benjamin David Gillis, Daniel Paul Jones. You may or may not remember the band Silverchair and their sort of appearance on the scene. But if you didn't sort of know a little bit of the backstory, you knew that they had a few songs that just smashed out on the airwaves. Sure. I mean, this song "Tomorrow" was all over the place, like right off the bat. And they had a couple other really, really big hits off of this very first album. Well, this very first album, Silverchair, first off, they're a band from Australia, and they have one of the notes about them that I read is that they have won more of sort of Australia's equivalent of the Grammy than any other act in Australian history.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's kind of a let's go listen to them right now thing, right? I
mean, they made several albums over the course. I think what I read is that they officially disconnected in 2011.
Okay.
And Frog Stomp came out in 95, so that's a
Right.
huge accomplishment for that period of time,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, even if I'm wrong and it was 2015, it was the 2000 teens that they made the announcement. Now, whether or not they've gotten back together since then,
Or
whatever,
done
I
other
didn't
projects
pursue.
together or whatever. Yeah.
Right. So this album was recorded in their first album was recorded in 9 days altogether.
No
it was
shit.
completed in 9 days, which is just an amazing factoid, right?
Absolutely.
They were all 15 years old, going to the same high school together, and they were still in school. They were going to school, and they were recording this album.
After hours.
Right.
Wow.
So it explains a little bit of the sort of raw feeling, and that's one of the things that the album got acclaim for, and the band got acclaim for, is that they have a very
This sounds
sort
like
of raw
a bunch
sound.
of kids who don't really know how
Right.
to do this.
Right. And I mean, they really do have some great songs on at least that album. I didn't follow the band. I heard a couple other songs on follow-up albums on radio.
Right.
That's as much as I followed them. But I was really amazed to find out about all the awards they had won. And they were also the first, I think I'm remembering this right, this may be up for correction, but the first Australian band since INXS to get back into winning multiple U.S. Grammys. So they accomplished a lot in, a 20-ish year run at most. And really impressive on recording their first album and this other stuff. So just something to chew on about that band and that song. And I'll just toss a couple others out here real quick that I don't have anything to say about much.
Sure.
The song I Alone from the band Live.
Oh, yeah.
I love the band Live, and I love the song I Alone. That was written by Ed Kowalczyk and released in 1994 off of the really fantastic album Throwing Copper. That album,
that is a great album. And by the way, just as a kind of a toss out real quick, Hello Newman does a killer version of that song.
Nice. It's a good song to do a killer version of. They also play Plowed by the band Sponge. Sponge is kind of a cool band if you're not familiar with them, because they're a little Blink-182-ish, and they're a little more punkish than that. Like, I think of Blink-182 as having a little kind of a surferish tinge to their alternative punk. Plowed is a little more punk, like Bad. Oh, what's the name of that punk band? Bad. I can't think of it right now. I'll have to look it up.
Bad English?
No, they're a more current punk band.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Anyway, Joe Mazzola, Jimmy Paluzzi, Timothy Rygiet. I hope I pronounced Rigel. I hope I pronounced that right. Michael John Rigel, Mark P. Dombrowski, all the writers. 1994, from a great album named Rotting Pinata.
There we go.
Rotting Pinata.
So again, this is the stuff that our friends in
Yes. So there's a few off the list. You got a few?
I got, one is a song that I didn't know I knew, which has happened more than once here. At least I didn't know the name of it.
I've certainly had that happen.
The tune Santeria by Sublime.
Oh, yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I even know some of the lyrics to that one.
Right.
And it's one that's on their list. And they do, again, a hell of a version. But it's one of the ones that's on the list that I saw. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know that. And by the way, of the 20 that are on my page, I know of every single one of them.
You're aware.
As you were saying. I'm not aware of all the lyrics to all of them.
Right. And you may or may not be able to name the artist, but you know the song. You've heard the song, you're aware of the song.
That's kind of the thing, like, Sublime, it's kind of hard not to know it's Sublime, you know?
Right. And
then another one that you recently hit me with that I missed completely and knew the song that's in their repertoire is Flagpole Sitta. Harvey Danger.
Yeah.
And that's another one where I'm like, yeah, I know that song. I just didn't know that was the name of that song.
Yeah.
And in a recent episode,
you got that challenge.
I blew that one.
Yeah, you got that challenge, and again, I knew you knew the song. You just didn't know the name and the act.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So those are a couple that are on my list that kind of jumped out to me as like, yeah, you know this song.
Right.
And
you should know the song, and you do know the song.
Yes, I just couldn't identify all of the particulars about the song.
Right.
And I think that was the point that my friend Matt was making is, you don't know shit about the music I play. Right. He's not wrong.
Right.
I know the music. I just don't know shit about it.
About it. Exactly. You don't know about it. I just took a second while you were talking to, because I couldn't get it out of my head, to verify the name of the band I was referring to. Plowed, for me, seeming like a sort of a blend between, and that is Blink-182 and Bad Religion.
Bad Religion. I know who they are.
Yeah. Love Bad Religion. Anyway, that's...
and what a great name for a band as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little aside there. Do you have another? Do you got more?
No, I know you've got more over there. I've got, I've got several. I just don't have any specs on any of them.
Right. I've got Smashing Pumpkins, the song Today.
Okay.
Today is the greatest day I've ever known. Billy Corgan wrote it, of course. Billy Corgan, I think, is the writer of most of the Smashing Pumpkins stuff. 1993, off of the album Siamese Dream, a huge, inarguably the seminal album for Smashing Pumpkins.
And they do a great version of that too. I'm going to stop saying that. Right. By the way, they do great versions of all these songs. They're a good band. They're a really good band.
Right.
If you're in the St. Louis metro area and you have an opportunity to see Hello Newman, go see them. It's a good time. It's a rocking good time.
And if you're not in the St. Louis area, I'm going to be a little presumptive saying this. You could probably see some of their stuff online.
I think there is some of it out there. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't gone and looked, but I will make a note to do so, because I'm interested to know too. But more importantly, I'll see if I can get out to see them sometime.
Yeah. Go see live music, folks.
The song, exactly. Go see live music. Donate to Wikipedia and check out our playlists.
Okay, all three of those are checked off the box now.
The song Baker Street.
Yeah, the
Foo Fighters, the Foo Fighters version of Baker Street.
Yes.
Originally written by Jerry Rafferty, 1978. It is one of the, I think it's the only song on the list here that's outside. I got that technically is outside of that period. No, I take that back. There is one other that I'll get to that may not realize is from outside of that timeline of 1990 to 1995. So Baker Street, Foo Fighters version. Jerry Rafferty originally wrote it and released it in 1978. Foo Fighters 1997, a little newer. City to City was Jerry Rafferty's album, and The Color and the Shape is the Foo Fighters album.
The name again? I'm sorry, I talked over you.
Of the album?
Yes.
The Color and the Shape.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a few from me. Got a couple?
Well, just a couple again. I don't necessarily have
factoids
on these, and the appropriate.
We're not really getting into them,
so. Monkey Wrench, Foo Fighters, and anything.
I've always thought that song's got to be so much fun to play.
Yeah.
To actually play live.
And they're pretty frenetic. Their version of it too, and I love that one. Counting Blue Cars, Dishwalla. We covered that in a recent episode. Yeah. That's another one that they do. And there's just so much. Say It Ain't So by Weezer.
Oh, yeah.
I love that song,
Right.
How about Buddy Holly by Weezer? They also do.
Oh, they do Buddy Holly too?
Yeah, they do, yes.
Props to that. How about Plush by Stone Temple Pilots?
Oh, yeah.
Or Tone Stemple Pilots? Is that a thing? Stone Temple Pilots?
I think there's a cure for that.
All my life, I don't think there is. If you know it, hand it over. Wicked Garden by Stone Temple Pilots. And I'll hit a third one, which is Vaseline by Stone Temple Pilots. My list has four. My portion of the list has 4 Stone Temple Pilots songs on it. So.
And here's one that I know that you love, because I know that you really can never remember the name of this band. Shine by Collective Soul.
Collective Soul.
That's for some reason that's one of those that you have a block on.
That is a sticker for me. I mean, really a sticker.
And
I can see like the lead singer's name. I can see album covers.
Yes, you just can't remember the name.
I cannot get the words Collective Soul into my head.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's so frustrating.
And then what they do, What I Got, which they do a great by Sublime, a great version of that. And again, they do a great version of everything. Go see live music, folks.
Right. I'm going to touch on one more. In just this sort of before we're doing challenges thing. And it's the song Possum Kingdom by the Toadies, the band The Toadies.
I know the band The Toadies.
If you are not familiar with the band The Toadies, you need to go get familiar with them. And props to Hello Newman for doing any Toadies songs. Although the album that this song came off of, Rubberneck, from 1994, is full front end to back end of crazy good songs. Like it's a very, they have a different sound for some reason. I mean, maybe it's obvious when you listen to it, but they rock and they are unique sounding, and they're hard edged.
Yeah.
They're not really progressive. I guess they have to be called alternative. But they're hard. They're not heavy metal. They're hard edged alternative rock.
Right.
Like a lot of it is pretty pounding, noisy guitar solos.
Sure.
And some of their songs are pretty frenetic, heavy drums. My wife, who is not a fan of noisy music, she is crazy about the Toadies. Like, from the moment she heard Possum Kingdom and then other songs, I went and got the CD because, particularly Rubberneck, because she was like, "Oh my God, that song!" And I was like, "This is freaky. I gotta investigate it further." And I played more of the songs. She was like, "Oh, that's a great song." I'm like, "Who are you?" You know what I mean? So
I don't know you.
Check out the Toadies. They do, obviously, they have more albums than Rubberneck, and they are great live, and they have a lot of great songs that I think a lot of people don't know about. That album Rubberneck really hit big for them, and then I didn't really hear a lot more radio player talk about them.
Sure.
But you can check out live performances and stuff on the web, and they're a really good band. So props to Hello Newman for playing any Toadies and for doing a good job playing Possum
and for providing the list to us. I mean, because it's there's great music there. It's a lot of talking points, and we will get the rest of them into challenges.
Yeah, I got a few challenges.
I got a couple.
Okay.
I got a couple. So we're gonna wrap up the conversation specifically about the playlist from Hello Newman here,
and just do mixtapes, mixed ups.
Yeah,
challenges?
I think we should pause to say that we are mixtapes, and this is You Should Know That Song.
That's a good idea.
The is the name of our music commentary bullshit podcast.
Right.
With finely curated
playlists. Yes, the finest.
Now with only the best playlists.
Right.
Available
your
for
favorite. Your favorite. Curated.
My favorite at the very least.
Exactly. www.youshouldknowthissong.com. Go there.
That's us. And you can get to the episodes there. A little bit of BS about us, but you can get to the episodes there. You can get to all the playlists there as well.
Yes.
And there's, I'm just going to toss this out there briefly, there's some cool charities on there that we have a page for that you should be looking at and contributing to. We'll go into more about that some other time, but we were talking about the website a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're going to do, we're going to do a mixed apes mix-ups.
Right.
And I could never actually say that without blah, blah.
I'm throwing in some more songs into this mixed ups. Some more songs from the Hello Newman list. You're throwing in some of those and others.
I got others, yeah.
So it's wide open, which is the principle of mixtapes, mixed ups. We're just throwing stuff in the blender.
Yeah, challenges there's no really specificity to what kind of challenge it is. We get to pick the challenge each go round.
We're throwing it in the blender, but we're leaving the lid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Sounds like pretty much everything we do.
That's what we do.
So do you want to get started on that then?
Yeah. I got this is one I wanted to get to from the conversation leading up to this. And this is a bean enchiladas. So here is your bean enchiladas challenge on another song from the Hello Newman set list.
All right. What do we got? Hey, little kid, balance on your camel because dromedaries don't have handlebars. Is that right?
That is right.
Okay.
Say it again just for entertainment.
Hey, little kid, balance on your camel because dromedaries don't have handlebars. And I'm betting that camel and handle rhyme in that couplet.
Yes.
Okay.
And the giveaway is hey little, but hey little thing.
No.
Let me light your candle.
Oh, this is this really?
Hard to handle, baby.
No kidding.
Hey, little kid, balance on your camel because dromedaries don't have handlebars.
Okay, I forgot it was a bean enchilada. It's like, what the hell is this?
Those aren't the lyrics.
That's right. Well, you never know. You never know.
It's true.
Hey, little kid, balance on your camel, cuz dromedaries don't have handlebars. Yes, I am. Okay, that was a really good one, and I blew that.
Well, I think it got out there, and that's what matters to me is that stupidity is out in the wild now for everybody to roll their eyes about. That's what it's all about for me. Just roll your eyes about it and move on. That is, of course, ruining the song Hard to Handle in only the finest of ways. By, as most people know it, the Black Crowes, right?
Yes.
But that's the Black Crowes version that is so extremely popular. And you probably know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. You probably know who originally wrote that song.
I don't. But
you don't?
No.
Otis Redding. It's an Otis Redding tune from 1968 that the Black Crowes had the awareness, the whatever,
yes,
to realize is just an amazing song. Otis Redding, it was a single. For the Black Crowes, it was on the album Shake Your Moneymaker from 1990 for them. So that was my fun for that one. What do you got?
All right, so straight up, you should know this song challenge. Again, a song from my version of the Hello Newman playlist.
Okay. Hit me
with your
best
stick.
Yes, hit me with your rhythm stick.
You know that song.
And my lyric challenge is the only thing I'll ever ask of you. Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second. Foo Fighters.
Yes.
Everlong.
Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah.
And see, I would have completely blown this one.
You got to promise not to stop when I say when.
Yes. I believe this is the song that recently Dave Grohl was somewhere. We had this conversation. You and I might have had it off air.
Maybe.
He was at an event somewhere, and a party more than an event.
Yeah.
And I guess Swift was there. Taylor Swift was there.
Yeah.
And his kids, Dave Grohl's kids, were there. And they asked him to play something, and he's like... Well,
and they were like, don't embarrass us in front of Taylor Swift,
and he was like, well, there's no guitars. I don't really play piano. Like I don't really play piano.
I do remember reading
and
about
so
this
she sits down and she says, I'll do it. She sits down and starts playing something. He's like, wow, this is really good. What is this? And it was Everlong. So then he's sitting there and he's like, A, I'm such a fucking idiot.
Right.
And B, and then he's singing along. And she essentially bailed him out of, they were saying, oh, hey, do something for us. And she's like, I'll step in. It's okay.
Be cool, Dad.
Yeah. And
well, and she probably, according to them, took his coolness to a whole new level.
Absolutely. So I that was kind of one of the reasons I wanted to get the song in there, but also because we were referencing Helen Newman earlier.
That's awesome.
Written by Dave Grohl, Everlong. Name of the song, Foo Fighters is the artist. The color and the shape, the one that you referenced earlier.
Yes.
Also, the last song played live by Taylor Hawkins before he passed.
Oh.
And it's apparently something that they wrote about Grohl's romance with Louise Post of Veruca Salt.
Oh, I did not know
that's
this.
That's the reference that's where, and that's, I mean, I hate to speak about why a writer wrote a song or what they're.
Yeah. Personal
That's the information that I saw on the web. So if I'm mistaken about that, I apologize.
Right. We're not getting catty about it. It's just
exactly.
Sometimes it's interesting to know what inspired somebody to put down a particular set of
So
words.
Anyway,
that's cool.
That's what I got.
The thing that has been hovering in the back of my head to dump out of my mouth at the first opportunity while you were talking about that is the thought flashed into my head of having a few years ago seen the YouTube video of the biggest collection of, and maybe this has been topped since then, but it was like a Guinness Book of World Records setting, a gathering of drummers in, I think it was a football field, in a big field somewhere.
Not an American football field.
Not an American football field. It was in the UK. It was in Britain, England, something like that.
I've seen that.
Yeah. If you haven't, and I think the song is Learning to Fly. I'm not certain about that. If you haven't seen that video, it is worth going to check out because there's
a couple of hundred people at a minimum.
Oh my gosh, there's just an unimaginable number of drum sets and they're all playing along together and it is really cool. All these guys brought out their drum kits and set them up in the field and the Foo Fighters are playing
right
on stage in front of them while they all play along on the drums.
I think you actually sent me that video a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
very cool shit. Very cool
really
stuff.
jaw-dropping. Super, super amusing to see.
All right, what you got there for me, big guy?
I got a straight-up prime.
All right.
For you, I'm going to be giving you a first and maybe a second clue. So here is your clue, and you should know this song, I think.
Tell him, take no more.
Probably not quite enough. I know you know this song, and it's a really distinguishable song, so I'll give you a second lyric.
Okay, let's do that, because I'm not getting anything. She practices her speech. Nope. I'm sure I know it, but I don't know it.
Okay.
What do you got?
It is part of the lyrics from Better Man by Pearl Jam.
Oh.
Tell him, take no more, she practices. Great song. Great song. And a Hello Newman song also. And I bet they do a great version of that.
They do. Again, they're a good band.
Pearl Jam, Better Man, Eddie Jerome Vedder wrote that himself. Released in 1994 off of Vitalogy.
You mean the Cubs fan, Eddie Vedder?
Okay, so there's a prime for you. What do you got?
All right, also a prime. I'm absolutely certain that you are familiar with the song. The question is,
do I know it?
Do you know this song?
Do I know the lyrics?
There's line 1.
Oh, man, I had this on. I almost used it for you in a challenge. Yeah, this is Black Crowes.
You want to share the lyric?
What a great song. Oh, did I miss part of it? Did anybody talk about the playlists? Baby, baby, why you dye your hair and why you always giggle when the boys stare.
Which is there's more than one different line after that. In the whole song.
In the song, when the line "Baby, baby, why you dye your hair."
Yeah, there's multiple follows to that.
Baby, baby, why can't you sit still? Who killed that bird out on your windowsill?
It's Remedy.
Remedy by
the Black Crowes. And I'm not drinking, kids.
Crack
I'm not
blows.
drinking.
That is a great one to accidentally come up with. I mean, that is
by
hilarious.
the Black Crowes, from the very, very, very popular Southern Harmony and Musical Companion.
Yeah.
Album. That song, written by Chris Robinson and Rich Robinson, the brothers that are the front of Black Crowes.
Right.
Number 1 on Billboard's rock tracks for 11 weeks.
Yeah.
Peaked at 48.
What a song to get into.
On the Hot 100.
I mean, you hear that song and you play it 3 more times. You just go back and start it over.
Yeah, it's definitely a rocker too, Yeah. And as I've said many, many times on the show and to you outside of the show man, I love a good boogie band, and Black Crowes are about as good a boogie band as and they're back together. They're still doing stuff now. I shouldn't say back together. They're releasing music again, is what I'm saying.
Yes, they have a new album out, and I just saw Chris Robinson on the Jimmy Fallon show a couple of weeks ago, talking about it all and talking about recording it. So check it out. I've heard a couple of songs off of it, and it's
and he's a pretty cool interview. He seems to be very grounded in being a musician and having that lifestyle and fame and fortune, and also their foibles along the way and where they dropped the ball as far as
I think self-effacing kind of.
Yeah, in that interview I saw him a little bit about what they, because Fallon's a big fan. He went nuts.
He talked about going to the shows
and when he was a younger man and so forth and so on. Yeah. So it was it was. I saw that same interview and it's pretty cool stuff. Yeah. And he was there promoting the new album.
Right,
which is what he was doing.
Out doing the
talk
show circuit, which is
and I don't watch. I watched very little of the late night TV stuff. I only happened to see that.
Yeah, that was just a YouTube clip I came across, and chasing down the thread. Okay, so Black Crowes, and I want to say I am pretty into the Black Crowes.
Yeah,
and I had several of their albums, and didn't have their last few, but they're. Boogie band or not, they do have some sort of southern rock songs.
Oh yeah,
and some mellow.
I don't think the two things are exclusive.
No, I don't think they're exclusive either. Yeah. But just don't want the word boogie to get anybody off track there. You can just roll their albums and just sort of let the mood as it changes over the course of the 40 minutes or hour or whatever. And that can just be what you're playing in the background. It's really, really a good mix of feels and sounds and what have you that they put together. I love the band.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 1992, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that.
Okay, I got a twist and shout for you.
Shoot.
You should know some lyrics to the song Hey Jealousy.
Well, do you think it'd be all right if I could just crash here tonight?
Boom. You do.
I'm in no shape for driving it anyway. I got nowhere to go. It might not be that bad. I could do like this is one band. This is one band that like because when that disc first came out, was it Congratulations, I'm Sorry? Is that one?
No, New Miserable Experience.
New Miserable Experience.
Great name for an album.
Both of those albums, CDs.
Yeah.
When they came out, I listened to them pretty much nonstop.
Right.
And it's kind of almost that guilty pleasures thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
it was pop radio.
It was very pop radio,
alternative rock.
And there's
crossover.
nothing really musically exemplary about their performances. It's not like there's a great guitarist or, it's just great,
well written,
well produced, great lyrics, great harmonies.
Yeah.
And that kind of was the genre that I was into at that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, both of those albums, I'm pretty much. I know pretty much most of the lyrics.
Right. Yeah.
Which means I'll never hear any of them from you again.
So take that, Matt. That's a Hello Newman song track. So, song list item. So you do know some 90s music off of their set list.
Yes.
So New Miserable Experience is the album 1992. Gin Blossoms, written by Doug Hopkins. And You're Up to Bat, Tough Guy.
Okay, your clue is here, and you should know this song.
My clue is rendering you a service makes me feel nervous.
It's real nervous, it says.
Makes me feel real nervous. Rendering you a service makes me feel real nervous. I know that is not ringing a bell at all.
Really? That's surprising.
Rendering you a service makes me feel real nervous.
So this is a straight up prime. So you get a second clue.
Hit me with another one.
All right.
Trying to get me into your schemes. Rendering you a service makes me feel real nervous. Trying to get me into your schemes. That's just not triggering anything for me.
Really? Because I guarantee you know this song.
Trying
Nothing,
to get me into your schemes. No, it's just not bringing a melody.
Okay, how about if I said Blackmail? Because that's the name of the song. By Robert Palmer.
Oh, what?
Off of Sneakin' Sally Through the Alley.
What?
Written by Robert Palmer and Lowell George.
Oh, my gosh.
1974.
How is that not ringing a bell? I'm not hearing that song at all.
Blackmail. I can't sing. You know I can't sing. Rendering you this service makes me feel real nervous. Trying to get me into your schemes.
Oh, no. Now I'm hearing it.
Sorry for the singing there, but
no, the
tempo
phrasing, the tempo of it just got it into my head.
Blackmail. It's in between two other really, really good songs on that album. Yeah,
I haven't listened to the album in a long time.
I know we talk a lot about Robert Palmer, but this is definitely one you need to know. It's out there.
It's popping. Yeah.
Into your head?
Is it? No, it's a popping song.
Oh yeah.
And doesn't it have a little sort of off time thing to it? Yeah. I didn't.
It's very much so on that album. Now that was Robert Palmer's debut album, 1974, Sneakin' Sally Through the Alley. The backing band for his album for that is Lowell George and most of the Meters, the band The Meters.
Oh,
great.
Yes.
Louisiana, Cajun, all the stuff that any of the kind of music that's
been around for a long time.
That comes out of
then,
Louisiana and that area, including in the band, Alan Toussaint and Art Neville are in the backing band.
Yeah.
For Robert Palmer's first album. I mean, that's like I have the Beatles here in my backyard kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm going to go ahead and front beyond my...
way beyond.
Way out of my level. Right.
So, anyway.
No short to Mr. Palmer.
That's the one I got there for you, sir.
Okay, I got another... well, let's see. Yeah, I got another twist and shout for you. This is a laydown. But I'm going to give it to you anyway. You should know some lyrics to Under the Bridge.
Under the Bridge, by whom?
RHCPs. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes, I know who they are. Thank you.
He knows.
He's filling me in because I'm sitting here with a blank stare on my face.
Yes.
And yes,
I'm now understanding that it's not me abbreviating the name of the band that's so stumped.
It's
trying to figure out.
I'm just trying to work through the song in my head to get to where I know some lyrics.
Love that. It's a song that's so in your head.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's heard it. It's all over the place.
Yes.
But your brain's like, wait a minute.
I can't come up with anything, brother, and I know this song.
Sometimes I feel like I don't
have a
partner.
Sometimes I feel like I'm all alone.
It's like my only friend is the
city I live in, the city of angels. Yeah. I just could not bring it up.
Lonely as I am. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Under the Bridge by.
Okay, so that would be again where Matt could reach out and say, "You're an idiot. You don't know
that one.
Yeah.
That one you deserve to get poked in the eye about. Although I know you had it in your head, you just couldn't bring it out.
Right. Still.
Yeah. That's a pretty should have known it one. Anthony Kiedis, Chad Gaylord Smith, John Anthony Fruscante, and Michael Peter Balzery wrote that 1991 off of Funky Monks, which, they are.
Yes.
Everybody knows it. Maybe
Absolutely.
The funkiest monks.
Funky is what they got going on. Funky is their deal.
That was a prime twist for you, and now it's your turn to try to stump me again. Still reeling after my last failure.
You know what? There you go. Here's a song you should know.
I should know this song.
Standard Prime.
Oh my gosh. The lyric challenge is candlelit, my eyes are slits, jumping now, paperclip. I am not finding something with that. I love it, but I'm not finding. Make a move, sail a ship, tap in. Oh no, tap it in.
Try the whole thing together.
Ruby lips. Candlelit, my eyes are slits. Jumpin' now, paperclip. Make a move. Sail a ship. Tap it in. Ruby lips. I love the lyrics.
And that's
I'm certain I know the song.
Yeah, and it's going to surprise you when that comes to your head. But
it's dirty. That's dirty. It's talking about dirty stuff.
Not really. Kind of not really.
It's not a sex.
I don't think that's a sexual reference right there. No.
It certainly seems like it.
Well, you get your mind out of the gutter.
And we're about to get it on.
So, you got nothing?
I got nothing.
The band is Mink DeVille.
Yeah, I know the band vaguely. I know of the band.
Songwriter is Willie DeVille.
Okay.
And that's not his real name. That's what he goes by.
That's what he goes by, sure.
The song is Mixed Up, Shook Up Girl.
I don't know that I know that
She's
song.
a mixed up, shook up girl, got me so blind I can't see.
Maybe I've heard it, but it is
1977. The album was named Cabretta, or in the States it was released as Mink DeVille.
Huh.
Like just the title
like
of the band.
Their debut-ish thing.
And there's a very well-known song called Mixed Up, Shook Up Girl that was a late 50s, early 60s R&B tune, and this is not a cover of that.
It's not that.
Right.
It's not their take on it.
And it'll be in the playlist, so you'll be able to hear it. You'll become familiar with it. The original song, Mixed Up, Shook Up Girl, was done by Patty and the Emblems. This is not a cover of that. Mick Jagger heard this in the I believe it was the producer's office or something, and got up and started dancing Mick Jagger dance. It's like, I really like this song. Like literally, they were sitting around talking, and this music came on, and he's like, "Oh, this is good," and he got up and started. And there's kind of a little story about it, right?
Right.
But yeah, this is I love Mink DeVille, and it's one of those bands that I forget that I love all the time.
Right.
Until a song comes on, I'm like, oh, this is good. And this popped up on me a couple of months ago, and I've since heard it maybe 3 times.
Right.
But as soon as it came up, I'm like, oh, these are lyrics that Reed will really dig.
Yeah, I really like those lyrics.
So
I really like them.
You should know that song.
That's great. I will. I know another Mink DeVille song. I'm not going to take a minute to look it up now, but I know the band name, and I'm familiar with it. But
they're a very kind of that whole Jersey soul thing.
Yeah. That
I like so much.
Right.
They're kind of in that genre sound-wise, in the most cases, not always.
Cool.
And by the way, that Cabretta album was huge for them in outside of the States.
Right.
Lots and lots of opportunities and things happened for him. Unfortunately, he died pretty young and never really, got to see the fame.
Didn't get to see the fullness of what his talents could have brought.
So what do you got coming back?
I got a straight up prime for you. You should know this song, but it is one of those 90s tunes, so we'll see.
Waiting on a Sunday afternoon.
The lyric is waiting on a Sunday afternoon. There, I tried to give you a little bump. You want another?
Give me, yeah.
You want another hit here?
Yeah, hit me again.
Have another hit.
They say.
Here's your second lyric clue.
For what I've read between the lines, no, I don't know, and I'm sure I know the song. What is it?
You do. You know it. Again, it may be one that you don't really know the lyrics too well, but you know the song. It's Interstate Love Song by Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that one was, of the Stone Temple Pilots songs in their list, I thought it was maybe the most likely that you would recognize the lyrics.
Well, obviously, I failed both of you again.
It's okay, Rayce. You're a good person.
I'm worth it.
Stones, you're worth it. 1994, off of the album Purple, Stone Temple Pilots. The propers are that it was written by Dean DeLeo, Eric Kretz, Robert Emile DeLeo, Scott Richard Weiland, and one of the, those two albums. I mean, it had so many songs on the radio off of just a few albums. It's really pretty remarkable, and they're still heavily played. Anyway, that's my hit at you. And now
we've been going on for a while. I think we each need to go one more.
One more each.
Is that cool?
I like it.
And then maybe we should, let these people get back to their lives.
Yeah.
All right. So again, just standard prime.
What do you got? I dare you.
You dare me. You're actually going to dare me.
Should I?
Okay. Cool. Here you go. You want to dare me? We'll play the game. I can do that.
Okay. Big shot.
You feeling froggy, huh? Your lyric is, there's your clue. You should know this song.
Okay, the lyric I was just given is, you'll be brushing out a broodmare's tail while the sun is ascending.
You said you were going to get it, so I'm just...
That lyric is very unfamiliar to my brain. The little man's not even leaving the booth to go scurry through the files. He's like, I got nothing here.
All right, well, here's the second clue for you.
And I'll just be getting home with my reel-to-reel. There's no comprehending. You'll be brushing out a broodmare's tail while the sun is ascending, and I'll just be getting home with my reel-to-reel. There's no comprehending. That is not dinging the gong from...
Okay.
It's not shaking the tree.
1977.
Yeah?
Joni Mitchell.
Oh.
Coyote.
Okay.
And you actually know the song Coyote.
I do know the song Coyote. I don't know the lyrics of that song well, but I do know the song Coyote.
Yes. 1977, the album was Hejira, Hejira.
Uh-huh.
Got some notes about this.
Of course.
Hejira may be referencing an Islamic concept. When I looked up Islamic concept, when I looked up the word Hejira, it didn't present first as a song title. I mean, as an album title, but presented as something relevant to. And if I'm screwing this up, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll take all the corrections, comments, input.
Apparently, when Muhammad and his followers were being persecuted in Mecca, they left Mecca on a Hejira, not a vehicle. Like, that was what they called them all leaving en masse.
The journey?
Yeah,
right.
Like we're on our way to go somewhere where we can practice our thing.
Right.
Okay, that's what Hejira is referencing here. She doesn't say that anywhere. But it's the only other reference I could find to the word that made any sense. However, the song, Coyote, she's kind of talking to a lover, it sounds like.
Sure.
And just talking about the differences in them and how they approach things and how, like, there's no regrets, but this ain't gonna work.
Right. Look how differently we're living our lives here.
Yes, as part of it, and also just differently who they are.
Right.
But apparently, this is supposed to be about a flirtation/affair with Sam Shepard, the actor and writer.
Oh, sure.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. As referenced in Scorsese's document about the Bob Dylan's Rolling Thunder Review.
Huh.
Okay. I believe that someone else, neither Sam Shepard nor Joni Mitchell, said this. Someone else was she was playing this song at some gathering outside of the concert. Right. They were all just sitting around being rock and rollers with guitars in their hands.
Sure.
And
having an impromptu jam thing.
Yeah, and somebody said that it was something about she may have, or something else. Someone else said it was something about an affair.
It's the only reference that's known as a potential basis for the song.
Right. But it's a really cool song. It's Joni Mitchell, right? So her voice is just
Coyote is great.
Her voice is just a gift from the cosmos, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
And her ability to tell stories and use phrasing so effectively.
Well, look at just those lyrics. I mean, my gosh, it's just fantastic. Even that little bit she's amazing.
So anyway,
which is what she's known for.
It's one of my favorite songs. It's actually the reason that I went out and bought that CD. Now there's other great stuff on that CD.
Oh yeah.
But I heard that song and I'm like, oh, I have to own this.
I gotta know that.
So that's my last one.
Okay, one more for me, or did I start it?
I don't care. Just give another one. No one's keeping score.
All right.
Hold on. Let me ask the production assistant.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Let's put it out there to the crowd. If anybody remembers who started this, go ahead and chime in and let us know. We can't fix it, but it's fun to know. And to know you're out there and you're alive and okay. We want to know that you're okay and safe. Okay, yours is going to be a starting lines.
Okay.
And here is you should know this song starting lyric.
Looking around the house.
That's not giving it to you?
No.
Okay, I'll give you this, and I know this is gonna send it home.
Hidden behind the window and the door.
Is it ringing a bell?
It's trying to come through.
Looking around the house.
Oh, fuck you. Here's the thing.
I thought looking around the house was really...
Here's the thing that sucks about that. This is actually one of our songs, me and my wife Donna.
Okay. So we're going to have to edit this entirely out.
Odds are she's not going to listen to this podcast.
Well, yeah,
I'm kidding.
Okay.
But yeah, this is Good.
Yep.
By Better Than Ezra.
Correct.
No, I didn't know it by the lyrics. Of course, I knew it immediately by the melody.
Yeah. Better
good.
Than Ezra has a brand new album out here in 2024. Actually, in July I think it was actually released in July. Maybe it was June, but I'm pretty sure it was in July. Brand new album, and it is the couple of songs I've heard off of it are really good so far. Like super surprising, and I think it's I think what I read is like 13 years or something since their last
really. That's pretty cool.
Album.
I haven't heard the album or the song. I know that the album's called Super Magic.
Yeah. And his voice sounds like his voice from
back
long ago. In the day, from the 90s, early 2000s. Super great. And like I said, the first couple songs I heard, I really, really dig them. So check it out. That was from the song Good from 1995 off of the album Deluxe. Probably their biggest album. Kevin Griffin wrote that song, and that is the last of our challenges from this round of Mixed Apes Mixed Ups.
Say that 3 times fast, and don't do it, please.
Don't do it.
Yes, and that should bring us, I'm saying, pretty much the end of the episode. I think we're around an hour here, give or take, and we've been blabbing long enough.
Right. Well, you have. I could blab. I could just keep blabbing. It's,
Well, as I said earlier, we may want to give these people their lives back.
Hey, everybody. Did you know we have playlists? Tell them about the playlist, Rayce.
Tell them what you want, Bob.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, we have, again, thanking my daughter Amity, and I'm probably not going to do that anymore after this episode because she's going to get, her head's going to get so big she won't be able to get through the door.
She's going to be over here like, cook me dinner.
Yeah, exactly. But
you owe me.
She suggested that we start doing playlists since we can't play the songs, and then she was instrumental in making it happen. She helped me put together a bunch of them, and they are so cool. And now every episode you listen to, you get the music free, no additional charge,
right?
No cover charge anytime,
right? And if you listen all the way through and comment, then you'll start earning points,
which are exchangeable for absolutely nothing.
Right. They're pointless points. We have a pointless points program going, folks. Sign up.
I like it. But with every now that we've already gone back and done all the previous episodes, and every new episode, when the episode is released, there'll be an accompanying playlist on our YouTube's
and if not
on our
with,
YouTube page, and
if not with, then just shortly after some of them are a little lengthy.
So you're going to take this over and break it after I've been fixing it? Is that what you're gonna do?
I'm just saying. I want to give the wiggle room there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to try not to wiggle. Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody.
But at any rate, and I'm not saying that anymore. I just said it at any rate again.
You're going to say it 100 more times.
Today in this episode. In any case, how about that?
Oh, very, very similar.
They are. It is cool. Go check them out. And if you want to go back and listen to the previous ones, they're all available on the same page. They're both available on our website and on our YouTube channel, our YouTube podcast channel, under playlists.
www.youshouldknowthissong.com and
youtube.com/@mixedapes with a Z.
Right.
And I keep saying with a Z just because I know y'all are smart enough, but I'm afraid that maybe the AI will screw it up.
Well, and of course, the play on words is mixed tapes, and a lot of people just find that auto-populates, and there you go. You're down a rabbit hole with mixed tapes, not mixed apes.
Right. Because you don't want to be down a rabbit hole with us.
You don't want to be down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so that'll wrap it up. That'll wind it up. We thank you.
Hey, go visit the website. Go look at the charities page. We have a new charity on the charities page.
Oh, yeah.
My son suggested a World Bicycle Relief.
Yes.
And I kind of looked at what they did, and they do some amazing stuff globally in rural areas, helping folks, giving them the tools and the transportation to help them raise their standard of living.
Right.
And they're not just giving away bikes. They're also training mechanics in all those communities. It's very cool stuff. They are helping local entrepreneurs to increase their wealth in the community, and to increase benefit to the community across the board.
Employment in the community. And
yes,
so
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And they're also, when somebody suggests a charity to me, even if it's somebody I know, I want to do a little due diligence and make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And I looked at their financials for a couple of years, both directions. They're not producing any more cash than they're spending, or they're not getting in any more cash than they're spending.
Right.
Their money's not going to huge salaries. They're getting shit done. They've got, I believe it was over 100,000 bikes.
Nice.
Around the globe.
And all of the related
stuff that goes on. So I just want to toss that one out there. It's pretty cool. But check out all the charities on the page, because there's great stuff there, and they're all worthy charities.
Right. Hit the website again, www.youshouldknowthissong.com. We are Mixed Apes.
We are Mixed Ups.
We are Mixed Ups.
And we are out.
Thank you.